Ever feel like you're just drowning in information? You want those deep insights, but without feeling totally overwhelmed.
Yeah, it's a real challenge, but what if there was a way to kind of zero in on the core wisdom, especially from really big, complex stories?
Exactly. And that's what we're digging into today. We're looking at how AI-driven analysis can help us pull out really meaningful knowledge from literature.
It's a fascinating approach. Think of it as like a new tool to understand these huge narratives and maybe see patterns or lessons we might otherwise miss.
We're using this lens today to look at Victor Hugo's Les Misérables, a truly epic story.
Absolutely. And we're focusing specifically on the positive transformations, the threads of hope and goodness you find woven throughout it.
This kind of analysis, by the way, it's something explored on channels like the YouTube channel Mindful Moments. They use AI to look into books and inspire reflection. It's that kind of spirit we're bringing here.
Right. So starting with Les Misérables, where do we begin? Maybe with Monsieur Myriel, the bishop?
Good starting point. His appointment as Bishop of Deed is interesting in itself. It apparently came after just one positive, maybe even chance encounter with the emperor.
Shows how, sometimes these big opportunities can spring from unexpected moments of kindness or just being seen in the right light.
And there were those rumors about his earlier life, weren't there?
Yeah.
It creates quite a contrast with the man he became, known for his deep goodness.
Definitely. And his sister, Mademoiselle Baptistine, she sort of embodies that beauty of goodness, too. It really paints a picture of how a life focused on doing good can be transformative, not just for him, but around him.
What gets me is his simplicity. A bishop, but living this very basic life, dedicated to prayer, helping people.
Yeah, and that little hint about the cathedral treasure, that maybe he thought it should go to the local hospital instead.
It makes you question things, right?
Yeah.
About wealth, about institutions, about where resources should go. Very radical, really, for his position.
It suggests his focus was genuinely on alleviating suffering, not on status or church bureaucracy. It's about practical help for the vulnerable.
And his empathy.
Right.
Think about his encounter with that dying member of the convention. Someone with totally opposing beliefs.
Yet Muriel treated him with respect. He saw the person, the suffering, beyond the political label.
That speaks volumes, doesn't it? Finding common ground, or at least basic human decency, even with someone you fundamentally disagree with. That's a powerful, positive theme right there.
It's a kind of radical acceptance, really, seeing the worth in everyone. And that capacity for empathy, it really fuels the positive changes later in the story.
There's also that image of him in his garden at night, contemplating, connecting his own peace with the serenity of the universe, the stars.
It highlights that positive practice of reflection, doesn't it? Finding meaning not just in action, but in quiet thought, in connecting with something bigger.
A very intentional practice, it seems, not just passive.
Right, which is maybe something we can all take something from.
Okay, now the big one. His encounter with Jean Valjean. Valjean turns up, lays it all out. I'm an ex-convict. Society's reject.
And Mario's reaction, just calm. Tranquil, even.
Imagine that. No fear, no judgment, just acceptance. It immediately sets him apart from everyone else Valjean has met.
It shows he's operating on a different level, outside those societal prejudices. It suggests this deep belief in, human fallibility, but also the potential for change, redemption.
And it wasn't passive acceptance. He immediately offers him food, shelter.
Which is exactly what Valjean hadn't found anywhere else. He'd been turned away everywhere.
So this act of unconditional kindness, it's like the first crack in the wall Valjean had built around himself. A single act breaking down huge barriers.
It's transformative. It plants that first seed of hope, suggesting maybe his past doesn't have to define him forever. It's a catalyst.
Then, of course, the silverware incident. Valjean steals it, gets caught, and Muriel covers for him, tells him he gave it to him, adds the silver candlesticks.
Unbelievable. And tells him, I have bought your soul. I give it to God.
Wow. Wow. It's more than forgiveness, isn't it? It's like an investment, a declaration of faith in his potential for good. It basically frees him.
It emphasizes redemption in such a powerful way, believing in change even when society has completely given up on someone.
Let's shift focus a bit to Fantine. Initially, we see her working so hard, making huge sacrifices for her daughter, Cosette.
Driven by that fierce maternal love, it shows incredible resilience, even as things start to go wrong for her. A really powerful portrayal of a mother's strength.
Her story is heartbreaking, but that initial drive is inspiring in its own way. Now let's connect this to Jean Valjean again, but under his new identity, Monsieur Madeleine.
Right, when he becomes the mayor and factory owner in Montreuil-sur-Mer.
It's interesting, people were suspicious at first, weren't they? Even the charitable types doubted his motives when he started helping everyone.
Yeah, but his actions spoke louder over time, his consistent contributions, his genuine efforts to improve things. Eventually, people saw his true character.
It shows how, genuine selflessness can overcome skepticism, but it might take time. Consistent, positive action matters.
And his impact was huge. That new manufacturing process he introduced didn't just make the town prosperous. It specifically helped the poor.
It's a great example of how innovation, when combined with generosity, can really lift a whole community, using his new life for good.
It's the practical application of his own transformation, isn't it? Using his skills and resources to make a tangible difference, a real testament to change.
And him refusing the Legion of Honor. What do you make of that?
Humility, I think, suggests he wasn't doing it for the recognition or the accolades. His focus was internal, on the value of the work itself, perhaps.
Yeah, like he didn't need that external validation anymore. His satisfaction came from the positive impact he was having.
And the people loved him for it, his workers, the children. They called him Père Madeleine, Father Madeleine.
That connection he built through just basic kindness and respect. It shows the influence of a leader who genuinely cares.
That affection is proof of his character, really. Building strong community bonds through empathy.
Okay, let's quickly touch on Cosette's early life. That awful time with the Thénardier.
Just brutal mistreatment. It really highlights the vulnerability of a child in that situation.
But it serves as such a stark contrast to the kindness she eventually receives, making those moments even more powerful.
Definitely. It underscores the impact of compassion against a backdrop of cruelty.
Like that moment when the traveler, who we know is Madeleine, Valjean sees her fetching water and buys her that expensive doll.
Such a small act in the grand scheme of things, but for Cosette in that moment, huge. A tiny bit of light and comfort in all that darkness.
It really shows how even seemingly small gestures of kindness can have a massive emotional impact, especially for someone suffering.
A reminder that you don't always need grand gestures. Sometimes a little compassion goes a very long way.
And then the big one, Valjean buying her freedom, essentially, from the Thénardiers, paying them off to take her away.
A pivotal moment. A profound act of compassion that literally rescues her and starts a completely new, positive chapter in her life. An intervention that changes everything for her.
Thinking about all these interconnected stories, these moments of kindness and transformation, it really makes you appreciate how literature captures these complex positive themes.
It does. And as you mentioned, exploring these kinds of analyses, well, resources like the YouTube channel Mindful Moments and our podcasts offer ways to keep digging into that. Using AI to pull out insights from audiobooks and stories, it's another avenue for that kind of reflection.
So, reflecting on our discussion, this look at Les Misérables, especially focusing on the positive threads, really brings themes like the power of kindness, redemption, and resilience to the forefront, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Seeing how one act of grace, like Muriel's, ripples outwards and enables someone like Valjean to then perform his own acts of compassion for Fantine and Cosette, it's incredibly powerful.
It really underscores the value of looking closely at these stories, maybe with these newer analytical tools, to gain inspiration and knowledge. Seeing timeless human experiences in a fresh light.
Precisely. You gain a deeper appreciation for the complexity of human nature. The struggles, yes, but also the enduring capacity for hope and positive change.
So if this conversation sparked something for you, we definitely encourage you to check out Mindful Moments on YouTube. Subscribe if you like what you see, maybe share it.
And consider supporting them, if possible, but most importantly, perhaps, take these ideas away with you. Think about these themes, kindness, redemption, community impact, and how they resonate in your own life.
Yeah, reflect on the characters and their journeys. What stands out to you?
And maybe here's a final thought to leave you with. In a world that often feels difficult, what is the real, lasting power of simple human connection, of choosing kindness and holding on to the belief that change, that redemption, is always possible?